All right, guys, this is the next day, Tuesday the 19th. Started unwrapping it already, but here is a rear bumper from Vijay. I don't know if you can see from the spots on the ground. Just got done raining, still sprinkling, but I think we are gonna go ahead and try to tackle this. So it's about almost 4:30, just got off of work. We'll see if I can get it done. I know I'm gonna have to remove this bottom fender flare, the rear bumper, of course our spare. There's some bolts on the bottom. So there is a video of a yellow FJ, and there is a guy, his daughter and wife, helping him pull off his bumper, and they do a pretty good breakdown of showing you which where, so I'm not going to bother with it. So that was a little bit of work, but getting all the boxes out the way. I did take a peek at the directions. Haven't seen anything about any cutting, but just like on the front bumper during shipping, a couple corners got scraped up, but not that big of a deal. I can shoot it black. So like I said, I didn't see anything in the directions talking about any cutting. We will see, because I do believe I've seen on YouTube some people take the silver part off, they cut this black piece, so they keep that there. And then I've seen where they kind of cut this piece off, I believe, all the way across his back bumper. And then of course keep this side too. But I'm not sure. We're about to find out though. All right, so here we are. The video I'm watching is FJ Cruiser Bill Hawkins. He has a yellow FJ, like I said. His daughter and wife are helping him do his rear bumper. I had one extra step because I had fender flares, which, I mean, they were simple. It was just these bolts in here. So once I did that, popped it right off. I saved this sensor for last because I couldn't get it, but once I let the bumper kind of drop, I was able to unplug that. So now, since this is out the way, I need to look at the directions and figure out what I need to transfer over. Like I said, this advertises no, I don't want to say advertises no cutting, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to. I think everybody has to do some kind of cutting when they do this. The one thing I will say is I don't think there is a spot for my backup sensors, so I might end up drilling holes in this one day and then moving our backup sensors over. Whew, it's getting hot out here now, but the bag of bolts is just kind of mixed up, but wasn't too hard to figure out. So didn't realize it. Our handle right here, this is actually a button, so that's what releases it. So I got 6 bolts in here to make the little I guess you would say maybe like A-frame little support right here. So next is going to be this piece that our spare will mount on at the top. So I can actually probably close this. Do I need to press it again to close it? Could just be because it's up. Okay, gotta push it with a little bit of force, but that's locked pretty good. So starting to take shape. All right, so just had to walk across the street. So shout out Bob again for hooking me up with an Allen wrench. But as you guys can see, everything is bolted on. I had to go back because I was looking there. I was like, I got a lot of washers. Turns out I was supposed to put some on the backside, so had to go back a little bit. But now we are at the step of doing our D-rings on the front. I think we use our OEM bolts for that, right where the trailer hitch would be. And then we are at the little bearings in this. So hopefully I don't need grease. Maybe if I do, I think Bob would probably have some. So I gotta get these D-rings on here and here, and then that will be it. All right, so I was able to pick it up, but as you can see, we do have to do some cutting. The directions do not talk about that. I think it's pretty much lined up. They do give you some like little rivets right there that I got to do. I think they bolt up on their bottom. Like I said, that's not secure, so I'm not about to crawl underneath there. But this little plate right here with the stud sticking out, I'm not sure what it goes to. I know it's for the hitch area, but all the directions should give you is that piece right there, and then that's it. All right, that was a pain. Hopefully I got my cuts right. Like I said, there's no instructions for this part of it on the directions. I've been watching Wonderlost Overland, and he had some measurements. It was like 5 inches from here to here and 3 from there to there. The difference is I left all this to try to fill in the gap that I think I would have with that. So you're not gonna see any of this anyways. I can make my cuts a little cleaner, but for using that, it's not terrible. So now time to, I might just try to pop that in place real quick, and then lift this back up and see where we're at, see if that gave us what we needed. So be right back. All right, after about 10 times of picking this thing up and putting it on, neighbor down the street came and actually gave me a hand. So it was hitting on, it's gonna be hard to see it now. You know what, I got you guys. Let me grab my light. So the plastic piece I trimmed to hide the gap right there, it was actually hitting. So you can kind of see it was hitting in there, so I had to trim in there, but it got caught up in there. But I left that piece on purpose because now when you open this thing, I gotta get used to it. Push, swing, let that swing all the way out. Open this up. If I didn't leave this piece, we would have a gap. And you can see that it still pushed it up. So I probably need to trim it some more, or maybe just trim it. Truthfully, I probably just need to come to about right here. But you can see it pushed it up. Wow, look at all the plastic from where I was cutting. But anyways, so I didn't want to have a gap right there. So that's why I tried to kind of, when I cut these, I left it in a U shape. But looking at it now, and our bumper is drilled on. So honestly, I mean, that ain't going nowhere. That might stay like that for a while, guys. Picking this up the next day, so I went ahead and got my bolts in here, and then I closed it, so that kind of sucked it closer. Got that bolted up. So we did hit our rib nut on the bottom. This side got tight right there. This side is still spinning a little bit, so we'll see, but I mean, it's solid on there. These are tight, so should be good. I will look into a different hitch system, but now we have maybe one bolt down here, and then our fender flares back on, and then this project is done. All right, so I kind of guessed. Like I mentioned, I wanted to change these lights out here to yellow or amber, but I'm not pulling this bumper off to do that. So the next easiest one was this corner light, which, as you can see here, I have replaced on this side already. So I got lucky. The lights they sent in the corners are 7 inches. This was the only 7-inch flush mount LED I could find on Amazon that was yellow or amber. So easy enough, popped out all our little Allen head and screws, let that hang out the way. And then it already has the holes there. So once these are done, I am just gonna extend all of our wires for all our LEDs, run them up here to our aux beam control. I only got the rock lights hooked up, so I actually got like 7 more spaces left. So should have plenty for that. And then I also have new pod lights, which will be easy enough just to probably cut this cord back here somewhere, solder the new ones on, and then we will have better looking and new actual yellow lens pod lights. So that will take care of all the LEDs on the front. The winch, I am just going to end up tucking our wires nice and neat and go ahead and connect that to the battery, and then we'll get this sucked up in here today instead of letting it hang. Back bumper is done. I gotta get with Bob to figure out what plastic he was talking about. We're gonna trim that up, tuck that in there, clean that up nice. The only thing I notice is when you swing this door all the way out, if you had weight right here, up there at the corner right there, you can see it flexes. So there's not much I can do about that. However, once the spare tire's on and it's mounted right here, like it doesn't move. So I'm sure if I decided to, I could probably weld this on here permanently and just call it a day. And then we will order the FJ spare tire delete to hide that ugly spot. Or I've seen Molly panels that can mount right there. We'll see based off of needs. And I might have to move my license plate and just maybe hang it off the front over here, because that's gonna block, and I'm sure I'll probably get pulled over for that. So we'll see how that goes, but back to trying to mess with these LEDs. Yellow LEDs are in. I'm trying to take my time. I'm actually just using a heat gun and these little solder shrink tubes. And then we got some wire loom, so probably just need to zip tie that. But I got both LEDs running to this one switch, so I got little stickers in there, so I'll label that one fog lights. But they both work. We'll see when it gets a little darker. So, but before it gets dark, hopefully I can run these last 3 and then our winch. All right, guys, so pod lights are wired up, fog lights, light bar, and the winch. So the wireless winch is pretty cool. Hold down the mode you want to be in. Wireless, make sure you turn it on through that little rubber flap, and then just not bad. Not bad at all. There, that's solid. There we go, guys. So the FJ is done. Let me go ahead and fire up all these lights for you and turn this off. You just hold down to turn it off. Yeah, it looks like it. So I have to keep that in the FJ now to make sure I keep this flap down. First time having a winch. But now we come in here. I actually got my buttons labeled too. So we can turn that one on. Rock lights, you guys already know. And then the amber. So the rock lights will probably fix tomorrow. Like I said, I cut the one and I got a new little, all these cords right here go up to the little controller. I got a new controller. It's actually this box right here. So didn't get a chance to do that today, but if I don't blind you guys, we are all good to go. So that is done. And then, like I said, over in here, we got our new rock lights, and then I do have some new amber pod lights. So they'll go on the factory, or not the factory, but the FJ. I don't want to blind you guys because it is bright. They will mount on this little FJ bracket I have here. So I'm just gonna cut this wire, solder it together, bolt the new ones on, and we are good to go. A couple days later, at least the spare tire kind of hid this ugly spot where the factory spare was, but the rim is up there. I've had this rim since COVID, since I bought the rest, but it's pretty good. So these tires are not the same. This is a Atlander. It's the closest I could find to the Supermax RT that I've been running. Also had these since COVID. It's a 10-ply tire, super smooth, not a lot of road noise. So it's a 35, what is it, 35, 12 and a half, 17, I believe, 1250. So bumper, there is a tiny wiggle to it right there, but I mean, that is a big tire on there. Now I'm sure popping this open, I mean, you can definitely tell that's some weight to it, but all the way open, didn't move any. I mean, if you push down, it wiggles a lot right there, but just as far as opening it. So anyways, that is gonna wrap up this bumper install video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are thinking about the Vijay rear bumpers, I will be doing a review, but time will tell. So we got more overlanding trips planned for this year. FJ is pretty much dialed in, just got to figure out our fridge situation and battery. So yeah, lots more exploring, overlanding, mountain content coming you guys' way. So please be sure to like, subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one.